man who bought 121 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in South Carolina has been arrested. Dietrich McGowan was arrested by the DEA on Tuesday for supposedly using drug money to pay for the Girl Scout cookies. He was one of 10 who got charged for importing heroin and cocaine from Mexico. The DEA said that McGowan is the same man who posed for a photo with the Girl Scout cookies they were selling. He's been under investigation in a multi-state probe since September. Michael Cohen, President Trump's fixer, testified in front of the House Oversight Committee. Cohen confirmed that Trump directed him to pay off Stormy Daniels and Carrot how do you pronounce that name?
McDougal.
What is it?
McDougal. When you guys have a chance, you guys are going to have to...
McDougal. Cohen also made it clear to the committee that Trump never directly asked him to lie to Congress. The circumstances of this hearing following Cohen's cooperation with Special Counsel Mueller made it extremely difficult for him to lie or dodge questions. It was stated that Cohen never sought out a presidential pardon. Cohen pleaded guilty to lying to Congress about the Russia investigation.
New York City is looking into changing the sound of sirens on emergency vehicles. Let's take a closer look.
All right, we're going to go in and change some things. All right, first of all,
Again, guys, how do you pronounce his name? McDougal?
McDougal.
McDougal. McDougal, got it.
McDougal.
McDougal. I'm going to pronounce it.
2 minutes.
It's okay, we can put up with covfefe, we can do anything else.
You are starting next to the monitor, right?
Are we doing the national rundown now?
Yep. There we go. All right.
So a good standing right here.
Come to the other side of it, please.
Here, this
the other
side.
side? Yeah, there you go. Keep going a little bit more. That way.
Coming up, Michael Cohen has testified in front of Congress, a zombie deer disease, and making history in the Chicago mayor race. Tonight on The Rundown. to The Rundown. I'm Brianna Benson.
And I'm Meridian Gonzalez. The man who bought 121 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in South Carolina has been arrested. Dietrich McGowan was arrested by the DEA on Tuesday for supposedly using drug money to pay for the Girl Scout cookies. He was one of 10 who got charged for importing heroin and cocaine from Mexico. The DEA said that McGowan is the same man who posed for a photo with the Girl Scout cookies they were selling. He's been under investigation in a multi-state probe since September. Michael Cohen, President Trump's fixer, testified in front of the House Oversight Committee. Cohen confirmed that Trump directed him to pay off Stormy Daniels and Carrie McDougal. Cohen also made it clear to the committee that Trump never directly asked him to lie to Congress. The circumstances of this hearing following Cohen's cooperation with Special Counsel Mueller made it extremely difficult for him to lie or dodge questions.
New York City is looking into changing the sound of sirens on emergency vehicles. Let's take a closer look.
It's a blaring sound most New Yorkers will tell you they know is important, but borders on the line of painful and intrusive.
Because it's a city and you have all the infrastructure, all the buildings, it's really loud.
It's noisy. It's very, very noisy. It's hard to sleep sometimes.
However, the sirens of police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances that have echoed throughout the streets of New York for decades could soon be replaced by sounds similar to those heard in Europe. City Councilwoman Helen Rosenthal is spearheading a proposal to lower the frequency, not the decibel level, of these sirens, hoping this would contribute to less noise pollution.
Change the tone of their siren from one monotonous high-pitched noise to a high-low pattern.
Mount Sinai Hospital has already adjusted some ambulances. The hospital says it has received fewer noise complaints since, while still maintaining the same level of urgency.
I believe they're equally as safe. Decibels are not different. It's just a break in tone that I think people are reacting to, which make it seem that it's actually lower than it really is.
Some New Yorkers say they're so used to the old sirens, they may not know what's going on if the city changes it.
I can hear the New York sirens coming from a block away.
But others say they're ready for a new shriek.
You don't need to have such a abusive amount of noise to just tell you somebody's coming. You get it.
No matter the sound, you still do have to hurry up and get out of the way. Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Coming up, Bobby D. Ford gives us the details on the new zombie deer disease. We'll be right back after this.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Pentagon has spent almost $8 million for treatment, including 161 surgical procedures for over 1,500 transgender troops since 2016. And as of the 1st of this month, 1,071 service members have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
A historically crowded campaign that saw 14 candidates battling to become the city's next mayor saw 2 black women emerge to face each other in the next few months. Either federal prosecutor Lori Lightfoot or Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle will become the city's newest mayor, making one of them the first black female mayor in the history of Chicago. Now, here's Bobby answering questions about chronic wasting disease.
Hey guys.
Hey, Bobby.
Hello, Bobby.
So
What is a disease and how does it affect deer?
So pretty much it's called chronic wasting disease, and a lot of people are calling it like a zombie deer disease. And the way that it affects them is there's these things called pyrons, which are like proteins, and they attack the brain and spinal tissues, and they make these deer kind of stumble around and like act like kind of like zombies, and like, you know, their skin starts to get really deteriorated. It's weird though, because it takes about a year to detect, and it's like once it starts, it's very rapid declining, and most of the deers, they actually die before they even, you know, see any symptoms.
Can chronic wasting disease be spread to people?
No, there's currently no evidence saying that it can be spread to any kind of person, even if they eat like deer meat. It's relatively new, so not many studies have been done to prove this. But so far, what they're looking at is no, it cannot be spread to people.
What areas of the country are affected by these zombie deer?
So right now there's 24 states that have been found with deer with this disease, most of which are in the Midwest and the Southeast, with a few cases in New York and Pennsylvania, and the most recent one is in Delaware. There's been diseases spread like this across the country, mostly in farm animals, and usually they're really well kept because they're farm animals. They don't go very far, but the problem with this one is they're deer, and they kind of go, you know, all over the place. So.
Should people worry?
No, I wouldn't worry.
All right, thank you, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
And later, Tatiana gives us the latest news around the globe, including the world's smallest baby going home.
I see it, I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
A Texas federal judge has ruled all male military draft is unconstitutional. It was determined that the debate for women in the military may have justified past discrimination. It was also said that the average woman could conceivably be better suited physically for some combat positions than the average man, and that combat roles no longer require sheer size or muscle.
Now let's head over to Olivia Fasano for entertainment as she updates us on the status of a few celebrity marriages and more.
Ed Sheeran is married. Ed Sheeran reportedly married Cherry Seaborn in a secret winter wedding ceremony just before Christmas. Apparently, this intimate ceremony had no celebrity pals in attendance, which means Sheeran's close friends, Taylor Swift and John Mayer, weren't there for the couple's nuptials. The Perfect Singer proposed to Cherry Seaborn in December 2017. Cardi B and husband Offset have had their fair share of publicity when it comes to their marriage. After news broke about Offset's infidelity, he made his public attempts to win her back, such as him delivering Take Me Back Cardi flowers on stage at one of her concerts. Offset recently explained on The Breakfast Club that he and Cardi B have been attending couples counseling to work out their marital problems. Offset explained, saying, "I'm new to this. I'm new to being married. I was 26. Fyre Festival's Andy King gives new details regarding the infamous oral sex scenario. The Netflix documentary is based on the massive scam that Billy McFarland conjured up that got him indicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison and 3 years probation. Andy King explained to Andy Cohen on his SiriusXM show, Radio Andy, how he flew to the Bahamas in order to save the failing festival. At the time, truckloads of Evian water got held up at the customs in Bahamas, and McFarland asked King to take one for the team and to use oral sex as a means of getting the water out of customs, instead of having to pay $175,000 to do so. The anecdote about King's dedication to the festival launched him into internet stardom. King told Bravo host Andy Cohen that his mainstream fame has been great for business. King recently explained to the LA Times, "Did I actually end up doing it? No. Would I have done it? Maybe. In today's culture, it's hard to find people that are going to go that extra mile to get something done properly." Now back to you at the desk.
Now let's head back over to the. Now Tatiana Davis will update us on the world's tiniest baby boy, the Israeli Prime Minister and U.S. forces over in Syria.
After spending 5 months in ICU, the world's tiniest baby boy has finally gone home. The unidentified infant weighed 9.45 ounces at birth, surpassing the previous record of a German baby boy weighing 9.6 ounces in 2009. Keio University Hospital in Tokyo delivered the baby boy through C-section, fearing for his life. After staying in neonatal ICU for 5 months, the baby's weight increased to 7.1 pounds. He is now healthy and ready to go home. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is being indicted on corruption charges after a 2-year investigation. The Prime Minister faces 1 count of bribery and 3 counts of breach of trust. The Prime Minister vowed to refute all allegations, which he said are blood libel. U.S.-backed forces fighting the Islamic State group in Syria said Thursday they have freed 24 of their fighters held by ISIS. They also uncovered a mass grave near the last pocket of territory held by the group. The grave contains the remains of men and women, but said the numbers of bodies and their identities remain unclear. Back to you at the desk.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
After the break, DJ gives us our sports update regarding Jason Witten coming out of retirement and Demaryius Thomas getting arrested. More on that after the break.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm.
our neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Walmart is removing greeters from nearly 1,000 stores. This is leaving workers with disabilities feeling targeted. The company plans on replacing the greeters with customer hosts, who will have responsibilities larger than what is expected of workers with disabilities. A lot of current greeters are expected to lose their jobs by April. Walmart has yet to speak on the topic. Now let's head over to Dejay, who will give us the update about the New England Patriots coach and much more.
Thank you, Iridian. New England Patriots owner pleads not guilty soliciting prostitutes. Robert Kraft is accused of soliciting sexual services for money at the spa in Jupiter, Florida. Kraft hired his close friend, Supreme Court Justice Pratt Kavanaugh, as the lawyer in his case. The police are investigating possible human trafficking of the woman who worked in the spa. A spokesman for him said, "We are seeking a full understanding of the facts while we are ensuring that we do not interfere with an ongoing law enforcement investigation. We will take appropriate action as warranted based on the facts." NFL receiver Demaryius Thomas gets arrested. Thomas was reportedly driving over 70 miles per hour, double the speed limit in his SUV when it drove off the road and flipped over, hitting a median. 2 passengers were in a car with Thomas during the accident. 1 passenger has suffered serious injuries. Thomas was taken into custody Wednesday after turning himself in. He's being held on allegations of reckless driving and no proof of insurance. Jason Witten comes out of retirement. The former Dallas Cowboy tight end comes out of retirement and signs a 1-year contract with his longtime team, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are paying Witten roughly $5 million to come out of retirement for the year of 2019. Witten says, "The fire inside of me to compete this game is burning too strong." That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Now let's go over to Alyssa Sullivan, who can give us a little more insight into the roller coaster of weather we are going to experience this week.
Thank you, Brianna. Good evening, everyone. I've got a little dose for you of this week's ever-changing weather. But first, starting off with today, we had a really sunny, beautiful day, but of course that moved over to some clearer skies going into this evening, with our degrees right now holding at 28. And like we said, those clear skies will be holding out for the remainder of the evening. Next up, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Starting tomorrow, we have a low of 34 with a high of 38, and yes, you're seeing it right, snow is in the forecast, so get those shovels ready. Going into Saturday, we've got a high of 41 with a low of 29, and rain, which is going to be carrying over into Sunday, where we're going to see our high of 42, but a low of 32. Moving into Monday at the beginning of our new week, sun is around the corner, you're seeing it right, with a high of 39, a low of 31, partly cloudy, topping us all the way at the end of our 5-day weather forecast on Tuesday with some sun, a high of 31 and a low of 13. So there is good news at the end of the horizon. Sun is coming for us. Next up, let's take a look at our weather window. Hello everyone, we're here now with the weather window. As you can see, today's forecast report started earlier thinking we might be partly cloudy, but the weather got even more beautiful as the day went along. You can see those partly cloudy skies in our first photo, but now beautiful sun did emerge throughout our day. So things are looking up, even though you may need to get those snow shovels ready tomorrow. Sun is on the horizon. Back to you girls at the desk.
After the break, we take a look at the news happening right here on campus at Rowan University. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
new issue of Student Health 101 is out. Take some time out of your night to distress with a quick body scan meditation. Learn how to handle jealousy and envy, gain more insight on vaping, juuling, and cigarettes, and find out more how you could enter to win a $25 gift card in February's drawing. For all the seniors who are ready to get their diplomas, the final graduation and commencement information meeting will be held Tuesday, March 12th at 5:30 p.m. in the Chamberlain Student Center. Here they will hand out college checklists, explain where to purchase a cap and gown, and what to do if it rains on your big day. Although the meeting is not mandatory, it is highly recommended.
The Rowan Center for Holocaust and Genocide Studies is hosting a screening followed by a discussion of the film The Death of Stalin. The film tells the story of Soviet Council of Ministers following the death of Joseph Stalin in 1953. Nominate the professional or professionals of the month. In the past month, which Rowan professionals or team of professionals has gone above and beyond in serving the university community. This program is for faculty, staff, or employee groups at any level across the university's campus. The monthly recipients will receive a special visit by the committee's Prof Patrol, a merry band of professionals dedicated to recognizing and celebrating outstanding work by Rowan employees. To nominate recipients, send an email in 200 words or less explaining why your nominee should be recognized to Prof of the Month at Rowan EDU. Joining us today, we have Bobby DeFord telling us about the dangers of chronic wasting disease. Hello,
hey guys,
Bobby.
how are you?
Good.
It's, so the BEA Festival, it's pretty much, it's called the Broadcasting Education Association. It's an award festival for the media arts at Rowan. It's hosted every year for students all around the world, just so they can showcase their creation, their work. This year there was 3 groups at Rowan that were brought in and actually won awards.
So, did Rowan bring any awards back?
Yes, actually they did. They won 3 different awards as well as an honorable mention. They had first place for narrative films with Midnight Broadcast. It was a short done by one of Professor Jonathan Mason's classes, Advanced Film. They had third place for long form video. They had a documentary called Rebirth. It was made in Professor Diana Nicolai's documentary production class. And RTF student Damara Perino won the Air Personality Category Award for excellence with Satin Nights. And then there was another first place honors for the special program category with Control Q Dreaming.
Where did the winners go from here?
So pretty much for the winners, it doesn't end there. They go from here, and there is a festival in Las Vegas from April 6th to the 9th. And at the conference, they get to screen their work.
Super nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. When we come back, Alyssa Sullivan gives us the update on weather that could have us reaching for our snow shovels tomorrow.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Got a quarter?
Let's head over to Olivia with entertainment.
Tonight, Rowan After Hours is hosting a Mardi Gras themed night. Grab a bowl of gumbo and French bread, Mardi Gras beads, and listen to the Cajun band Zydeco A Go-Go. The DIY project tonight is Mardi Gras masks. The event starts at 9 p.m. and ends at 1 a.m. in the Student Center pit. The Rowan Television Network is having their annual telethon on April 10th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. This year, RTN is raising money to benefit My Brother Rocks the Spectrum. My Brother Rocks the Spectrum provides an inclusive environment in all communities to ensure all children can attend classes, social skills programs, and have one-to-one attendant care when needed to support those with special needs through employment and additional resources, and to aid community leaders fighting for children of all abilities. Tune in on April 10th to help raise money for their deserving cause. St. Baldrick's Day is happening in the Student Center pit on April 6th at 2 p.m. Join the St. Baldrick's event, and whether you decide to shave your head, volunteer, or donate, or come to be a part of the crowd and enjoy the excitement. The St. Baldrick's Foundation is a volunteer-powered charity that funds more in childhood cancer research grants than any other organization except in the U.S. government. The St. Baldrick's Foundation helps to raise money to help conquer childhood cancers. Now let's go back over to the news desk.
Earlier today, I got the chance to sit with Dr. Lewandowski to talk about how students can take a course next year during spring break. In Ireland, let's take a look. Hello, Dr. Lewandowski.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, and welcome to the Rowan Special Report.
Yeah, thank you.
So there will be a chance for students to take a course in Ireland next year in the spring.
Yes.
What course is that, and who should consider going?
Yeah, so I'm teaching a course here at Rowan called International Terrorism. It's in the Law and Justice Studies Department. But for a week during spring break, we do go to Ireland. Pretty much anyone can go as long as they are a sophomore, and they need to have a 2.5 GPA, and they need to be in good academic standing. But pretty much if you have room in your schedule and you want to go to Ireland and terrorism interests you, then by all means, come take my class.
Is there any other requirements, like full-time, part-time students?
Yeah, so you have to be full-time and you have to be a Rowan student. So I got a lot of questions about spouses or parents or friends. You do have to be a full-time Rowan student.
And this is going to be the second time you take students to Ireland. How was it last year?
Yeah, so last year I took 12 students to Ireland with me from all different majors, but a few from Law and Justice. And we had a great time. My students tended to want to go because they had Irish history and they wanted to learn a little bit more about their lineage and a little bit more about Irish history. But I had quite a few students who went just wanting to travel just for the sake of traveling, and they had never done it before, so they wanted to go with somebody who had done it before. And yeah, we had an amazing time. This year I happen to be going to Iceland with students, but not necessarily with the class. So I'm really looking forward to doing the class again, though, because you get to know each other better that way.
Do you plan on taking 12 students again?
You know, honestly, it's going to be dependent upon how many sign up. I hope that at least about 12 sign up, because that makes it more fun for me to take more students. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have a couple students signed up and quite a few interested already. So I think we'll at least hit 12 this year.
And so last year you went to Ireland, this year Iceland, next year Ireland. Are you planning to go to Iceland again the year after that?
I think Costa Rica, just to change it up a little bit and make sure that everybody kind of gets a good chance of different countries.
What will a student schedule look like in Ireland? Like, what are some of the activities you guys will be doing?
Yeah, so we're going to fly into Dublin and we're going to stick around and go to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I wanted to make sure that if we're there during the time, then we might as well make use of it and go and do something really fun, because it's one of the most, one of the biggest St. Patrick's Day parades, obviously across the world. But we also get to see a lot of different things like Kilmainham Jail. We're going to go up to Belfast and go on Falls Road, and you get to actually see the wall that divides the neighborhoods. We get to take a black taxi tour that's led by former terrorists, people who had gone to prison for terroristic crimes. And then, yeah, we get to take tours from people who kind of give us two different sides of the story. One of the things that I like to tell people in my class is one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and students really learn that.
Sounds super interesting, super fun. When is the deadline for this trip to register?
So the deadline isn't actually until about October, but I put it out pretty early in order to allow students time to think about it, but also to start paying it down. Because if you start early, you can pay it down in smaller chunks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewandowski. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And if you're interested in going to the Ireland trip, you guys can email her to lewandowskic@rowan.edu. And thank you so much for watching the special report.
Now for the latest on sports with DJ.
Thank you, Brianna. Rowan softball gets ranked 5th in NFCA Division III top 25 poll. The team is 0-0 this far in this season. The softball team has a game coming this Saturday, March 2nd. The Profs will be playing the Christopher New University Captains. Times to be continued. Tickets are for sale for the men's NCAA basketball game Friday, March 1st. Tickets will be sold at 3 p.m. for both 5:30 and 7:30 games. The ticket is good for both games. Epsi gyms will be open at 4:30 p.m. Tickets are limited. Once tickets are sold, you are unable to purchase any tickets further. The Prof swimming and diving team has 3 divers that qualified for NCAA Northeast South Regional on Saturday, March 1st and 2nd at Rochester Institute of Technology. Chad Shire, Claudia Rockowitz, and Corinne Finkbinder will compete at the regional meet. Head coach of the team says Chad has really became a spectacular diver to watch. The Profs won their 3rd straight NJAC title and 2nd consecutive Metropolitan Championship. Thank you.
Here's Alyssa bringing us the week's weather forecast.
Thank you, Brianna. Good evening, everyone. I've got a little dose for you of this week's ever-changing weather. But first, starting off with today, we had a really sunny, beautiful day, but of course that moved over to some clearer skies going into this evening, with our degrees right now holding at 28. And like we said, those clear skies will be holding out for the remainder of the evening. Next up, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Starting tomorrow, we have a low of 34 with a high of 38, and yes, you're seeing it right, snow is in the forecast, so get those shovels ready. Going into Saturday, we've got a high of 41 with a low of 29, and rain, which is going to be carrying over into Sunday, where we're going to see our high of 42, but a low of 32. Moving into Monday at the beginning of our new week, sun is around the corner, you're seeing it right, with a high of 39, a low of 31, partly cloudy, topping us all the way at the end of our 5-day weather forecast on Tuesday with some sun, a high of 31 and a low of 13. So there is good news at the end of the horizon. Sun is coming for us. Next up, let's take a look at our weather window. Good evening, everyone. For tonight's weather window, earlier reports today showed us that it was a partly cloudy day, but as you can see from the pictures behind me here, still somewhat very beautiful. There's some brightness peeking out there in the sky, and it got very beautiful as the day went on, turning into a sunny day. Not partly cloudy at all, but the weekend is going to bring some showers both in snow and in rain as well. So ladies, what are we thinking? We may have to get our snow shovels out tomorrow.
I'm actually pretty excited for tomorrow. Like, I love the snow, you know, perfect weather for Netflix, you know, hot chocolate.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we are then going to work our way into some rain over the weekend and then back to some sun. So we're seeing full circle.
Honestly, the weather seems to be having mixed emotions, and so am I.
It can't make up its mind. It needs to really get it together because I'm pretty sure that the groundhog saw a shadow.
It's hard to say well in these kind of times. Like one day it's hot, then it's cold, then it's rainy, then it's sunny.
Absolutely.
Snowy, and it's just, oh my
well,
God.
hopefully some more consistencies in the forecast for you guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Alyssa. All right. Thank you. My name is Everdeen Gonzalez.
I'm Brianna Benson.
And thank you for watching.